What's up, guys? Yeah, I know, weird intro again, but like the start of my videos were all pixelated. Thankfully I caught it, but yeah, I don't know, there's a rendering problem or something with the start of my videos. So the original start to the video was me talking about Jordan Matthews, if anybody even recognizes that name. He played in the NFL like 4 years ago. He was on the Bills, the Eagles, the 49ers. A wide receiver who was unsuccessful and now wants to come back to be, you guessed it, a tight end. Now, I don't have the energy to make a scene about it like I did in the original intro, but if anybody actually signs him as a tight end, other than a blocking tight end, so basically another O-lineman, I have every right to go and try out for the NFL tomorrow. So boys, get your WyattzWorld jerseys ready. Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video. I was thinking about doing an all about anything today, but I still am just having fun doing whatever I want to do. And today we're going to do another this or that. Except today is going to be on somebody who I don't necessarily hate, but I'm not a fan of them. Not because they're a bad person, but just because they haven't done anything. And that man today is Miles Sanders. So all the Eagle fans in here already, hit the dislike, get it out of the way. Today we're going to dissect Miles Sanders. I'm going to be comparing him with 10 other running backs. Now, I was a little bit careful choosing the running backs to compare him to. Since Miles Sanders is so new, I wanted to pick mostly people who have only been in the league for 1 or 2 years. Now, there might be a couple in here that are a little bit older, but they were good comparisons, at least I thought. One super quick thing before we head into the video, guys. Head over to gfuel.com and use code WyattzWorld to save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Okay, so brief, super quick overview. 99% of you know how these work, but I'm going to be comparing Miles Sanders to 10 other running backs and picking between Miles Sanders or them. I'm not meaning to snub anybody if I forgot your favorite running back on this list. They're either just too good for the list or I just didn't put them on there. Anyway, let's start this list off with number 1, James Robinson. Yeah, I'll take James Robinson in this one. Dude, James Robinson had a better year than Miles Sanders behind Jacksonville's O-line. The only category Miles Sanders is beating James Robinson in is yards per attempt, and James Robinson's is still pretty damn good at like 4.6. Miles Sanders just apparently somehow ended at 5.3, which is great. But everything else, no. Less yards, less rushing touchdowns, less receiving yards, less receiving touchdowns. Yes, Miles Sanders might have had less attempts than James Robinson. James Robinson played on the worst team in the league and put up more yards than Miles Sanders has in either 2 of his years. I'm taking James Robinson. Alright, up next we have Kenyan Drake. Yeah, fuck Kenyan Drake. I'll take Miles Sanders on that one. I know he had a great year when he got traded to the Cardinals, and he started to turn it around last year too. But Kenyan Drake is on his way to the Raiders to split carries with Josh Jacobs. Kenyan's a decent runner. I mean, he's really fast if he can get open and get at top speed. But I don't think he's the strongest back in the league. I don't think he has a lot of force. I don't know, man. I feel like this one could be kind of a coin flip for some people, but I would just trust my gut and take Miles Sanders over Kenyan Drake. We've seen less out of Miles Sanders. We kind of know a little bit more about Kenyan Drake. To me, not to be offensive, but Kenyan Drake, I just think he is probably good splitting carries. I don't think he's a number 1. Up next on this list, we got a guy who is very young and promising, Cam Akers. Look, he did not get the attention last year until like week 12. That's why he didn't have any production. Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown were running the ball over him. Now, I think Cam Akers is going to be very good. But as of right now, I'm still going to take Miles over him. Cam's close. He's really close. He's only like 200 all-purpose yards behind Miles. I mean, he had, 600 rushing yards, a couple rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown, and I think at least 100 receiving yards. Like, he was definitely productive. But has he done enough to make me confidently take him over Miles Sanders, who has been not bad, but just not great, but has not had a ton of time and has been in a terrible organization as well? I'll take the risk. I'll probably end up regretting it, but as of right now, Miles Sanders over Cam Akers. Fantasy-wise, I don't know. This isn't fantasy football. I'm still scratching my head about that too. Okay, up next we have Chris Carson. Give me a fucking break. Chris Carson, don't argue it. Don't stop. It's incredible if people want to say that Chris Carson hasn't been good because of this one last year. He gets hurt, and he is a fantasy heart attack. I'm not going to even try and deny those 2 things. I don't want the fucking guy in fantasy. I won't touch him. But look at his production when he does play, when he has played, aside from this 1 year where I'm not even quite sure what happened to him. Chris Carson's been a 1,000+ yard rusher from the last 2 seasons before this. And I'm not saying Miles Sanders can't be, but we haven't seen it out of him yet. We're also forgetting that Chris Carson can catch just as many touchdowns that he can rush for. The thing about Chris Carson is he was not supposed to be good. He went to Oklahoma fucking State. Got drafted in the 7th round of the NFL draft, oh, maybe 6th, but one of those two. Rashad Penny was supposed to be the man in Seattle. He ended up sucking ass. Chris Carson ended up being a gem. Even after kind of a lackluster year, his all-purpose yards I think still might have been more than Miles Sanders this year. Miles Sanders, you're in question. Chris Carson, you know what you're getting. I will take Chris Carson. Alright, up next we have James Conner. Fucking gross. He did fantastic in 2017 when Le'Veon Bell opted out, but ever since then, I think my ass hairs have been more productive than James Conner. He can catch, I'll say that. I've seen him make some pretty great receiving plays, but watching him run over these last 2 seasons when he's not splitting carries with fucking Benny Snell, I don't fucking want that. Sorry, it was 2018 when he came in for Le'Veon Bell, but in 2017, 144 yards, 0 touchdowns. 2018, 973 yards, 12 touchdowns. Great! 2019, 400 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. 2020, 700 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. He's not any better than Chase Edmonds. I don't think he's a solidified #1 back. Miles Sanders, I think, has a much higher ceiling, and I just think is much better than him. Could be wrong, people could disagree with me, that's why it's my opinions, but no, fuck James Conner. Alright, up next we got Melvin Gordon. He is a lot better than anybody has given him credit for this last year. Melvin Gordon, this last year, he was pretty fucking good, actually. Yeah, he messed up. He made a couple mistakes. A couple of really boneheaded mistakes. But Melvin Gordon in 2020, 215 attempts for 986 yards and 9 touchdowns. Also averaging 4.6 yards a carry. That is productive running. Yes, he was sharing a little bit with Phillip Lindsay. He's going to be sharing probably a lot with Javonte Williams coming in this year. But much like James Robinson, Melvin Gordon is defeating Miles Sanders in pretty much every major category. This one is almost an easier decision than James Robinson was because, well, we've seen Melvin Gordon. We know how good he was when he was on the Chargers. 9 touchdowns off of 4.5 yards a carry out of 900 yards. I'll take that, man. That's good. Give me Melvin Gordon. All right, up next we have DeAndre Swift. Miles Sanders on this one, and I'm gonna take it because he fucked up last year, and I'm not just counting when he lost the game week 1, like he fucked up a couple times. If I can see DeAndre Swift play 1 or 2 more years and the maturity rises in him a little bit, not as a person, but you know, just the adaptation level of the NFL and the NCAA, he can make that jump, look more comfortable in the backfield. It's not going to take a lot for me to take him over Miles Sanders because I do love DeAndre Swift, but right now I think Sanders has still got a little bit of an edge on him. Now, I am expecting Swift to have a huge workload this year considering Jared Goff doesn't have any fucking weapons besides him and TJ Hawkinson, so who knows, maybe he's just going to be the next best thing. Which would suck because he would spend the rest of his life in Detroit, but what can you do? Alright, up next we have Antonio Gibson. I don't need to answer this one, but I'm going to because I like talking about him. 170 attempts, 800 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, and 11 fucking touchdowns. He is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. I know I've said that before, but I mean it. Also had like 300 receiving yards. I'm not the guy to say someone is the next someone. You know that, and actually it makes me fucking cringe because it's just cringy to hear. In comparison, and this is coming from NFL scouts, and Ron Rivera himself, if anybody is going to mimic Christian McCaffrey in the league right now, it is Antonio Gibson. Shit, I think he could be better than him. I am obsessed with this guy. Antonio Gibson, Miles Sanders, I would hit Miles Sanders with a fucking bus. Up next, we got a sensitive one because my friend really, really likes this guy, and I don't. Leonard Fournette. Drew, if you're watching this video, me and my buddy Drew were going at it one night because he thinks Leonard Fournette's a top 10 running back. I called him fucking crazy. We just argued for like an hour. He's one of my best friends. It's not like a serious argument at all. But not taking Leonard Fournette over Miles Sanders. Fuck no. I don't care how good he's looked in the playoffs, and I do not care in the slightest about how good he was at LSU. This is not college. This is the NFL. If we're going to talk about how good athletes were in college, shit, Jamarcus Russell's the greatest NFL quarterback of all time. And Leonard Fournette's not bad. 2020, 367 yards, 6 touchdowns with 3.8 yards a carry. Behind the Buccaneers O-line, he is averaging less yards a carry than James Robinson was behind Jacksonville. Are you... No, I do not want Leonard Fournette. I'm sorry. 2019, yeah, he had 1,200 rushing yards, 4.3 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. That is it. I know he was on the Jaguars, but what the fuck? 2018, he was injured. I won't even count that, although he only averaged 3.3 yards a carry off of 133 fucking attempts. And then we go to his rookie year in 2017. 1,000 yards, 3.9 yards a carry, 9 touchdowns. Okay, fine. This guy is a fucking train wreck, dude. He is a roller coaster. He's 26 years old. He's still got life in him. But I need to see him running the ball and actually doing something other than him just getting up to the goddamn goal line and punching it through. Fuck a ball playoff, Lenny. Give me Miles Sanders. And last but not least, we have David Montgomery. Everybody loves to shit on this guy because he plays for the fucking Bears. Let me tell you guys something. I hate the Bears. But I love David Montgomery, and I would take him over Miles Sanders. Same amount of experience in the league, and I have gotten to see so much more out of David Montgomery than I have out of Miles Sanders. And I'm not just saying that because I get to physically watch David Montgomery more because I live in Minnesota. David Montgomery impresses me, man. He doesn't fumble the ball did he fumble at all last year? Let's look that up. He didn't fumble last year. He fumbled on a receiving catch. So yeah, safe with the ball. He can catch the ball. He's quicker than you would think he is by looking at him. He looks like a bowling ball. And then adding to that bowling ball, the thing that mesmerizes me about David Montgomery is the guy doesn't seem to ever be slowed down. Like, he will take hit after hit after hit, and he will just bounce around like a fucking pinball. He doesn't slow down, and he doesn't drop. Like, he just goes until he gets fucking tackled. He just came off of a 1,000-yard season, too. I know last year he didn't. I think he was like 900 in his rookie year or something. His rookie year, I didn't know who the fuck the guy was. I paid no attention to him. Shit, the first game I can actually remember sitting down and watching David Montgomery and going, holy shit, this guy's actually kind of good, was like week 10 of this last season. They played Detroit. I don't know. That's all I can remember is he dropped 2 touchdowns on him, and I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty decent. New guy, just like Sanders, not a lot of experience. I've seen more out of him. I think he looks more impressive. Give me David Montgomery. Alright guys, and that is going to be all for this or that Miles Sanders edition. Now, I don't want to get on my own wagon here, but I'm starting to think you guys actually really do enjoy this or that because you're always asking for them. Guys, the way that I determine how videos are liked is by the likes. So if you did like this video, I'm not trying to be cliche, smash that thumbs up. If you guys want to leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever you absolutely can. You know I post every single day. For anybody who would like to send something to my P.O. box, the address is going to be in the description of this video as well. Guys, we're going to have a busy Friday already, and I haven't even checked the box yet today, and it's Wednesday. But yeah, guys, with all that stuff being said, I'm going to hop off and edit this so you guys can watch it. As always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.